The council chamber of the Galactic Federation fell silent as the verdict was announced. Chloe stood in the center of the crystalline platform, her chitinous exoskeleton gleaming under the harsh lights. Her compound eyes, all 7 of them, shifted nervously across the assembled species. She was Krathix, a species known throughout the galaxy for their appearance. Segmented bodies covered in gray-green mandibles that clicked when they spoke, and limbs that bent at unnatural angles. The human delegate will now fulfill the terms of the peace accord, announced the overseer, a being of pure energy contained within a floating sphere. As tradition dictates, a cultural exchange through bonding will cement our alliance. Dylan stepped forward from the human delegation, his boots echoing on the polished floor. He was tall for a human, with sandy hair and eyes the color of Earth's oceans. The other delegates whispered among themselves. The beautiful beings who resembled classical depictions of angels looked at him with what might have been pity. The crystalline Zephyrim simply hummed their disapproval. Everyone knew what this was. A test. A humiliation. The Galactic Federation had chosen the Krathix deliberately, waiting to see if humanity would recoil, if their famed adaptability and tolerance was merely propaganda. Dylan stopped 3 feet from Chloe, her mandibles clicked rapidly, a sign of anxiety in her species. Through the translator embedded in his neural implant, he heard her voice, mechanical yet carrying undertones of emotion. I understand if you wish to refuse, Chloe said quietly. The council has made their point. No species has ever accepted a Krathix bonding. We are considered the ugliest species in the Federation. Dylan tilted his head, studying her. Then, to the shock of every being in the chamber, he smiled. Chloe, he asked. Her compound eyes widened, all 7 of them focusing on him with sudden intensity. How do you know my station Kepler 442 7 years ago? You were the xenobiologist studying Earth fungi samples. The chamber erupted in confused murmurs. Chloe's entire body went rigid. Dylan. Her voice cracked through the translator. Dylan Chen. The same. He stepped closer, and the guards tensed. But he merely extended his hand, the human gesture of greeting. You saved my life when that containment breach happened. You sealed yourself in the contaminated section with me, even though the spores could have killed you. You were dying, Chloe whispered, her mandibles trembling. Your species was new to the station. I couldn't let you die alone. Dylan's smile widened. We spent 3 days in that quarantine pod together. You told me about your homeworld, about the bioluminescent forests where your people evolved. You taught me to understand Krathix body language, showed me pictures of your family. He paused. You told me about how your people are treated, how other species look away when you enter a room, how you're brilliant in your field, but no one wants to work with you because of how you look. Actual tears began forming in Chloe's eyes, a trait rare among her species. You said you thought I was beautiful. I thought you were just being kind. Humans lie to make others feel better. I'd read I wasn't lying. Dylan closed the distance between them, and gently, carefully, placed his hand against her carapace. The chamber gasped collectively. I think you're still beautiful. Your mind is extraordinary. Your dedication to science inspires me. And yeah, objectively, your exoskeleton has these amazing patterns that catch the light. And the way your limbs move is graceful in a way most species can't appreciate. The overseer's voice cut through the moment. Human Dylan Chen, do you accept this bonding? Dylan never took his eyes off Chloe. I accept. Not because of some treaty or peace accord. I accept because 7 years ago, I met someone extraordinary, and I've thought about her every day since. I looked for you, Chloe. When I became a delegate, I hoped I'd find you again. Chloe's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sound the translator interpreted as sobbing. They chose me to embarrass your species, to make humans fail the test. Every species before you has refused bonding with a Krathix. Then every species before us was blind. Dylan turned to face the council. Humanity judges beings by their actions, their character, their minds. We've had to learn this lesson the hard way in our own history, but we learned it. We don't care what you look like. We care who you are. The Voltorian delegate stood, her wings shimmering. This is ... unprecedented. Get used to it, Dylan said firmly. Humans are good at unprecedented. We fell in love with robots before we even built sentient AI. We write stories about romancing aliens before we met any. We see beauty in things the rest of you overlook, in storms and scars, in imperfection and asymmetry, in diversity. He turned back to Chloe, taking both her foremost limbs in his hands. I should have found you sooner. I should have tried harder, but I'm here now, and if you'll have me, I'd like to make up for lost time. Chloe's voice was barely a whisper. You really came back for me. I never stopped looking. The bonding ceremony proceeded, and across the galaxy, the news spread like wildfire. Humanity had passed the test not with tolerance or political correctness, but with genuine affection. The Krathik's homeworld received the news with disbelief, then hope, then celebration. For the first time in their history, one of their own was valued, loved, chosen. As Dylan and Chloe left the council chamber together, her chitinous hand in his, the other delegates watched in silence. The overseer's voice resonated through the chamber one final time. Perhaps we have underestimated humanity. They see with more than eyes. They find beauty where we see only darkness. They love what we have deemed unlovable. Behind them, the crystalline doors sealed shut, and the galaxy would never quite look at humans or the Krathiks the same way again. The end.